I'm Sarah Colvin here on the banks of the beautiful Bass River with the Executive Director of the Friends of the Bass River, Ryan Mann. Ryan, great to see you again.
Always great to be seen.
So what is going on these days with the Friends of Bass River?
Well, one of the things that we're really focusing on right now is ramping up our membership and our volunteer opportunities. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that needs to be done. And there's a lot of ways to give. Of course, if you're interested in membership, we really want to have a broad base of support amongst the community. We have levels of giving as low as $50 a year for families, per families, and up from there. We'd love to have everybody's support on that front. Our volunteer opportunities and ways to give, we're also expanding. Clerical and administrative throughout the winter. You can come once a week. You can come once a month. If you just have one occasion that you can do that, that's fine too. And then getting out on the river. Even now, we're looking at getting out on the river. As this time of year is really gorgeous. So we're planning a cleanup event in a few weeks. So if that's the way you would like to give, that would be great as well.
Wonderful. So if you want to become a member or a volunteer, what's the best way for folks to do so?
Sure. Reach out to us through our website, which is friendsofbassriver.org, or through our Facebook page, and we're also on Twitter, so you can look up on what events are coming up. We have links to getting to our website for membership through that as well.
Great. So we had a lot of rain recently. Is that something that's going to impact the quality of the water in the Bass River?
Well, there's a lot of things going on that go on in the fall. First thing, the temperature of the water is getting cooler. As water temperature gets cooler, the amount of oxygen available is actually higher. So cold water holds more oxygen. But we also have a lot of nutrients that are coming into the river as part of that influx of rain, either through groundwater coming towards the river or runoff from roads and catch basins. So yeah, there's definitely some stuff going on, both natural changes as well as influence from our activities.
Great. And I was recently at an event in Barnstable where there were some students from University of Massachusetts Landscape Architect School, and they were taking a look at natural landscaping techniques as a way to kind of mitigate some of those stormwater issues that come. Is that something that you guys have discussed with the Friends of Bass River, and something that could be encouraged for homeowners along the Bass River?
I'm glad you mentioned that. One of the things we're looking at is everybody. Most of us come from other parts of the country or the state. Some of us from the world, and we want this place to look like home. And so we get green lush grass, or we get big long yards. And naturally, that's not what we had here on Cape Cod or on the banks of the Bass River. It was much more vegetative, much more native plantings, and the more we can encourage those type of behaviors, as well as reducing nitrogen enriched fertilizers, would really enhance the water quality in the river. And so we are looking to help out with education. This spring, we're looking at a bunch of ideas to help spread the word about how to best manage your landscape, whether you're right on the banks of the Bass River or a few miles away.
Wonderful. And again, it's so fascinating to me, because you're right, we see lush lawns, we see things, and we hear so much about the impact of septic systems on nitrogen, but we don't think a lot about the impact that fertilizer has. And those non-native plantings, those non-native lawns require a heck of a lot of fertilizer in order to survive. And where does that fertilizer go? Into our water.
That's right. Yeah, every decision we make on our landscape or in our homes often have a influence on the surrounding area. So, we're not suggesting people tear down their houses and build green. We're not suggesting anything like that. There's a lot of little tiny steps that really won't impact your experience of enjoying your property. That will make a huge difference if we all get on board.
Great. And you had a big summit earlier this month at Thurwood Place. So how did that go?
It was wonderful. We had almost 30 people show up. It was in the evening after dinner, and it was really great to see such a groundswell of people across the community, young folks that are retired, folks that work all day still came. It was really great to see all those folks, and we are promoting volunteering through different aspects So I mentioned, admin clerical. We had 2 folks this week alone come by our offices and help out, writing out envelopes and addressing things and helping with database entry. It's really, we're a very small organization, but as we're continuing, we're finding that we are really resonating with the community. It was very, very, very inspirational.
Great. And of course, that trash, litter, debris, marine debris, all sorts of things, again, something that is threatening the area, and that's why you do regular cleanups. I know you had one a few weeks ago, and there's one coming up. So tell me a little bit about the upcoming cleanup, what you're looking for, and how people can volunteer.
Sure. So we're looking to have a cleanup on Saturday, the 18th of November. We're going to start at Bass River Beach at 10 o'clock. You'll be done by lunchtime. Go get your sandwich right afterwards. We're going to spread out in small teams throughout the identified public access points along Bass River. Clean up, various debris that we find left behind by, visitors and things that wash ashore as well. And it's really an inspiring thing. Folks think, oh, this is terrible. You found thousands of cigarette butts, or we found, hundreds of food wrappers or whatever. The reality is yes, that sometimes just through the landscape, it blows onto our beaches. That's why they're vulnerable places. But the other side of it is, how heartwarming is it that we have these folks that are coming out on a rainy Saturday like we did a few weeks ago to come help us out. It's a very, very short amount of time that makes a huge difference.
Wonderful. Well, Ryan, anything else going on these days? I know, again, where we talked about volunteers that you're looking for, talked about members that you're looking for, the beach cleanup that's coming up. Anything else that you feel people should know right now in the fall about the Friends?
Yeah, I think just if you go to our website, you can sign up for our e-newsletter. We have a River News e-newsletter that goes out monthly and has really nice public interest stories, what's going on with events and other happenings with us, as well as just little tidbits about what you can do to help the effort, the rescue mission for the Bass River.
Wonderful. Well, Ryan, thank you so much, and it's so nice to be out here on a beautiful fall day on the banks of the Bass River.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ryan Mann, of course, is the new executive director for the Friends of Bass River. You can find them online at friendsofbassriver.org. From the Bass River, I'm Sarah Colvin.